Good evening and welcome to the Ben TV studios here in London. Today with me at the Study Nigeria Fair are some of the leading international schools in Nigeria. The Study Nigeria Fair was set up to encourage parents in the diaspora, particularly in London, to send their children back to Nigeria. Everyone in this country is aware of many of the social and political challenges influencing parents' decisions, from culture awareness, from issues surrounding safety, particularly in London, from issues surrounding building a wider network for students back from the originating country. This has informed a lot of parents looking at options overseas, particularly in the country of origin, such as Nigeria. At the Study Nigeria Fair, we brought to London many of the leading international schools in Nigeria, schools with an excellent track record, not just in terms of results, but in terms of welfare and pastoral support they offer to students. So I'd like them to introduce themselves. I've got with me today representative of 5 schools from Nigeria. Starting from my left, I would let the first delegate introduce herself.
I'm Chire Awobade. I'm representing Temple School, Lagos.
Thank you very much.
Oluranti Bankole, Green Spring School.
Olayinka Oduwole, Pampers Private School and Rainbow College.
Aisha Mansur Williams from Pipe Academy.
Gideon Igbogi, Chrisland Schools, Lagos and Abuja.
Thank you very much. Just before I get ahead of myself, the Study Nigeria Fair is brought to you by EDUSKO Africa in partnership with TIEC Group here in the UK. I'm going to take this opportunity for our delegate schools to talk to families, not just in London, but other parts of the UK as well as in Europe. This is a great platform for them to reach out to families who may not have been able to make it down to London today as well as tomorrow. So I want the schools to firstly tell us about their school and what is on offer in the school. So starting again with Temple School.
Okay. Thank you, Binga. Temple School is actually an inclusive school. We're a non-selective school, and we offer categories from ages 6 months to 18. We have the early years foundation school, the primary school, the secondary, and the college. So if you have children in this age category, then they're fit to come to Temple. At Temple, we have a robust curriculum. So the children in the UK, for instance, who are used to the British curriculum, they can easily fit because our curriculum is an amalgamated one with the Nigerian curriculum, the English National and the Cambridge curriculum put together. So it's easy for the children to understand the same style of teaching and learning that they have here. So it won't be a problem for them to settle, which I know might be the problem, what the parents will be thinking, oh, how does my child settle here? And then for safety, like Benga had mentioned earlier, Temple School, where we're located at Ilupiju and Ikeja, Adeni, Jones and Okpebi, they're very serene areas, very calm, peaceful. And so you're looking at having your children in areas where you know they're safe and you don't have to worry about their safety. In terms of extracurricular, as we speak, we have the best athlete, 100 meters athletics student in Temple School, and he's represented Nigeria, represented Lagos State, and has won several gold medals. Right now, he's been headhunted by a lot of schools in America, offering him different kinds of scholarship. And Temple as well, we're the biggest host of ASEAN competitions. We have all kinds of competitions in sports and then other programs that ASEAN has. And so at Temple, we're very proud of what we do. You have you all covered. Whatever you want, whatever kind of education you want for your child, I'm sure you'll be happy with us at Temple. Then I would like to add that we're actually styled to make you comfortable, happy, and satisfied. If you're looking for a school where you're going to be happy and you'll be comfortable and satisfied, then think about Temple. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Moving to the next school.
So thank you so much. Green Spring School. We have been in operation for 35 years. We're the best school in Nigeria, if I dare say myself. And we run the British curriculum through. We run the Montessori curriculum in preschool. British curriculum through elementary and secondary school. We also offer the prestigious IB diploma program at our school. And we're an inclusive school since inception. We're non-selective as well, where we understand that all children can learn and should learn. And we're in the business of value adding. So we take children and take them from where they are to where they could be, their potential. We are a family-oriented school. Our motto is in love, serve one another. We're service-driven. We're an innovative school. We have lots of firsts. First school to offer the IGCSEs. We're the first school to also run the BTEC program in Nigeria. We're the second school to run the IB diploma program. And we're also the first thinking school in West Africa. So we are on a path to ensure that we're always looking for the best way to reach children and get them ready for their future. We are also the most awarded school, prestigious IGCSE results from the British Council, most with the best in world and best in country grades. And we have so much to offer, and I look forward to an opportunity to share more with the parents. You can check us on our website, www.greenspringschool.com.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Next school, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Wenger. So I'm representing Pampers Private School and Rainbow College. Pampers Private School is a school that caters to the needs of children from EYFS to Year 6, and Rainbow College is from Year 7 to Year 12. Now, I beg to differ. Pampers is the best school, and Rainbow is the best college. So, Green Springs are coming right behind us. And our school is very high-achieving. Our children are high-attaining in public exams. So, in Y, for instance, last year, our school got 99% A1 to C6, and one of the best in West Africa, not just Nigeria, but top 10 best school in West Africa. As well as in IGCSE exams, we average 99% A-star to C grades, and again, puts us in the top best schools, internationally, about 10,000 schools that sit the IGCSE exam. So if you want your children to attain, then Rainbow College is the school to come to. As well as that, we offer a boarding facility. So we have a world-class boarding facility in Ogun State, in Maba. And again, parents are more than welcome to view this on the website as is on the screen. You can look at the facilities. It's better than any I've seen in Nigeria, and by far compares to the best I've seen in England and in America. As well as that, we have a day school. So if you rather them, just come from home every day, we have a day school in Surulere. And I'm so proud and I'm so happy to introduce parents to Pampers Private School and Rainbow College. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next.
Thank you. So Pipe Academy is one of the very few schools in Nigeria that combines the best of Western education and the best of Islamic education all at once, to give the kids a balance where they can fit into anywhere they find themselves around the world. So our aim is to make sure that our kids get the best of both worlds without compromising on any of them, and we are very focused on giving them the values they need, the morals, the values, and the upbringing they would need, when they go out to the outside world. We are a boarding and day school. Our boarding facility is second to none. We have, 24/7 security. We have live-in kitchen staff, live-in hostel staff. So with this, our kids are definitely home, even though they are away from their home. We also try to give them a lot of extracurricular activities, and one of this is our periodic West Coast trip. So for many years now, we've during the summer holidays, we try to engage the kids by taking them from Nigeria as far as Ivory Coast. That's as far as we've gotten. So, it's literally trying to broaden their horizon when they're outside of the classrooms as well. And then we also have other curricular activities during the year, which are part of their daily activities. And then our curriculum is Nigerian and British based, so we try to train our kids for for schooling abroad, and this is very obvious because we have a lot of kids that have gone up of the school in England and have come back with first-class degrees, which is clearly a testimony of how they were taught right in school. And then I think for any parent that is looking to give their kids the best of the Western and Islamic education all in one, Five Academy is definitely a place to be. And why we started this matter is because back then, a lot of kids had to go to Western school in the morning, and then when they get home in the evening, while their peers are resting, they had to then go to an Islamic school. So we thought a good way to bridge this gap and make them, rested enough the day before and fresh enough for the next day is to combine everything into one and give them a good balance without compromising on each other. Thank you.
Excellent. Blend of Islam and education.
Yeah.
Sir, about your school, please.
Thank you so much. Chrisland Schools has been existing for 42 years now. And arguably, we can say we are the biggest privately owned group of schools in Nigeria, having 15 branches. We have schools right from kindergarten up to university. The first set of the university, we graduated about students from two different faculties, just about 2 weeks ago. So that's a good one for us. We have 6 nursery primary schools, 6 secondary schools, and we have a 6th form college. And all these are in Lagos and in Abuja. Talking about the curriculum we run, we combine, we call it an harmonized curriculum where we have been able to combine successfully Nigerian and British together. And this has exposed our learners to opportunities within and outside the country. 42 years is no joke, so we have a very strong alumni. Our alumni, they speak for us wherever they go to. We have a lot of them even in Europe, in England, as we speak. Bumi Shotayo, I'm always proud of him. He got his PhD from Lancaster University before he attained the age of 25. And presently, he's a lecturer at the engineering department of Liverpool University. He's going to be here tomorrow, and we are proud of him. A lot of them that are doing so well. In the area of sports, our boarding school, it's sitting on 50 acres. And 50 acres is quite big, the size. We have a very big, what we call stadium back home with 9-lane tartan tracks. And that has actually produced a lot of athletes. We are not doing badly back home. And we also have some of our learners who are doing fantastically well in colleges in Europe and America. We have professional basketball players. We have Oyemata, who is into American football, and he's doing so well. He has been drafted into the NFL. We have 1 or 2 of them playing in the NBA. So this is not easy. It's because of the other co-curricular activities we have exposed them to because of the facilities. Well, here in England, you have a lot of facilities, no doubt. But what we sell back home in Africa, it's character, and identity matters most. We want Africans to still expose their kids to the African education. It's not just about to be able to do so well academically. The values, the rich African values is very, very important. And that is what we are selling to the whole world. That it doesn't matter how short it can be, even if it's for 2 months, a term, send your kids back home to learn that rich African culture. And that is what we are talking about. So Chrisland considers character development of a child, because that's the future of Africa anyway. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So you can see why I said these are the best schools in the country. You heard that. And I've been there, so I strongly attest to what they have to say. But I've got some questions, and the next question has to do with the cultural perspective. A lot of families want their children to return to Africa, maybe not necessarily for the academics, because usually that's well provided for here. They're interested in the culture, or cultural awareness? I mean, how does your individual school, I'm going to start with you now, sir, being next to me. How does your individual school promote the Nigerian culture?
Our culture is so rich. Other people will say they've got rich cultures too, but you know, there are some core values we don't have to joke about. And they are embedded in folklores and folk tales and all that. We teach Nigerian languages and our cultural activities in school and all that. The discipline is very, very important. You can walk past an elderly person without saying hello. That's very common over here. You can just mind your business. But over there, it takes back home in Nigeria, it takes a whole village to raise a child. It's not just I listen to my dad alone. So everybody adores bringing up a child in Nigeria. So we have a lot of activities, and we have what we call a pastoral program, where especially freshly admitted learners from this part of the world are exposed to our culture, and they like it. They want to have a taste of our dance, have a taste of our drama, do our literature and all that, and it's so interesting. So it's so interesting.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much, sir. Next person.
Okay, so I'm going to start with I mentioned this earlier, the periodic West Coast trip we have.
Okay.
So we are not just focused on teaching them about the Nigerian culture, but also Africa as a whole. So that's why because we know that most people in summer or if you travel out of the country, very few parents take their kids to African countries. We usually fly to Europe or America. So that's why we've taken it upon ourselves to kind of give them like a introduction to what Africa is about and for us to see what other countries are like. And besides the periodic West Coast trip that we have, we also celebrate the African Children's Day, so which is a day where everyone comes in their loads of like traditional African attires wherever you're from, and then we have a couple of dances and dramas, and it's just a day for us to celebrate our culture, for us to for the kids to show us how much they know about the culture, how much, and that's obviously how much they are willing to learn, and we know what we're going to teach them. And we also have little things like in the mornings the Nigerian anthem. I know we try to teach them in the language. I've heard mostly the Yoruba one because in Lagos most people are Yoruba. So I know there's the Hausa one as well because these are the two cultures we have predominantly in our school. So we try to make sure they learn these basic things in languages besides English. And then, we also, try to make them, besides obviously we study languages, and the kids are also encouraged to take a language in their final exam, just so that they, start to look forward to, they put more effort into learning their language. And we also, have, classes and things that helps them to assimilate in their culture. And besides learning the language or looking at the culture, things like, as we were saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Things like respect, understanding the people around you, because especially for kids that are from here, it's very different when you're here to when you go back. The way you speak to people, the way your body language, there's a lot of things that goes into speaking to someone. So we try to make sure that our kids understand this, and not just understand it to do it, understand it. They understand why they need to do it. So even when they come back here, they have a reason to explain to their parents, okay, this is why I'm doing this. And we also teach them the Islamic culture as well, because that's very important to us. So when they go outside, they're able to defend and answer any question people have regarding Islam properly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The way we tackle cultural values, our mission statement, so our core mission statements, if you look at it, is on the school website. We have values such as integrity, honesty, leadership, and so we consciously write our curriculum to reflect the values that we want inculcated in our children. And so lesson after lesson, you would see the Nigerian values being taught expressly by teachers. As well as using our curriculum to teach Nigerian values, we also do the Nigerian studies. So we run the Nigerian curriculum. So we have to teach Yoruba, we have to teach Igbo, we have to teach major Nigerian languages. So we do that very well, and we embark on trips. So we take them out of, so we go as far as Ogbomoso, and go far, obviously, to show our children the other cultures that are not theirs, So we do that very well. And there are other strategies that we use to transfer the values that parents really want. So some parents will say, "Oh, I want you to go and taste Nigeria," and go and get smacked or something. But as much as we don't smack, but we found a balance to use our behavior policy to transfer those values that parents hold true, and has helped us as individuals in our lives to our children. And so that's what we do at Pampers and Rainbows.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, madam.
At Green Springs School, like some of my colleagues have shared here, there are a few things that we also do in the school. Respect is one of our core values, which is a core value. It's one of the anchors of our culture, and it is an integral part of what we do in the school. And normally in our culture we look at respect just to the adults, but we are child-centered, and we also respect the students. We hold them to a higher standard. Integrity is also another watchword, and accountability. And how that plays out is, yes, we do have rules and regulations, and we have behavioral guidelines that students have to abide by, but then when things go wrong, we involve them in the process to make sure they understand why this is wrong, and why the consequence, why that is the next consequence, and why that's the right thing to do. And we put them in a position to also go through the steps to change that behavior. We also have an open door policy where students and parents alike can come in and question and ask questions and get more information about things they're not clear about, or the changes they want to see, and we always promise to listen. And I think it's another skill, and it's another part of our culture, to be able to listen to different opinions and listen to other people, and actually understand where people are coming from and meet them where they are. We have so many. We teach the local languages, and we celebrate the different cultures. So it's always nice when it's National Day and the students come all dressed, and they appreciate it. We study historical figures. All our teams are named after strong historical figures in the society, and the students understand why. And so we always make sure that there is a connection and a link to their heritage, it's infused in everything we do in the school. As a school, we understand, and we're proudly Nigerian. And we do sing the national anthem. Everybody has to know the national anthem and the pledge. And of course, we're not blind to what's going on in the country. And students are actively involved in trying to find a change and make a change, and understand that if we want Nigeria to be better, we have to be the one. They're the ones with the power. And we show them that. And so it's really nice when everybody comes together and they're fighting a cause. We recently all came together because the roads to the school weren't too good. And it was nice to see the whole community, students, parents, teachers alike, come together and petition. And it was nice. And that's just what we do. We're a family, and everything we do is family-oriented.
Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you. At Temple School, we celebrate the cultural experience. By the National Day, we have what we call, just like some of my colleagues have said, we have the Cultural Day, the Independence Day, where the children come in the rich, attires. They come, everybody is celebrating where they come from. And this helps the children who come from other parts of the world. They want to see that, okay, so I'm actually African, I belong, this is how we dress, this is the kind of things we do. And then, apart from the outfit, they do the food that comes from the culture. So people bring native foods, and people see how it tasted. And as a school, because we have a boarding facility, we also offer the basic Nigerian food. So people coming to the school, they see, the rich, Nigerian food, the African food that they're served, and they enjoy it. A lot of children even come from England and America, and you find out that their best meals are amala And, you know, so they love it, and they're like, okay, so this is what my food is. It's not what I'm used to eating over there. Some parents try here. They try to introduce the children to those things. And then when you talk about African values, you can tie it to respect and love. At Temple, you know, our strong word is love. You'll experience it from even the little children, the early years. You have children, they show concern because we're an inclusive school. We have children who are challenged, and they're there in the classes with the other children. And so there's love. Everybody understands that we're different, but yet we have to love you. They hug you when you're feeling bad or something. The child looks at your teacher and they understand that, oh, I think there's something wrong with my teacher today. And so they're scared. The love is there. And that's what the African culture, the values we have here, that's what we try to teach the children, to empathize with one another, which is something very, very rare in this part of the world. People just mind their business totally. But out there, we start introducing them at an early age to recognize the fact that a special child is just like a regular child. So we teach them love and then respect, like my colleagues have said. Respect is something you can never have enough of. And we don't just teach them respect for elders. You have to respect yourself and your mates. Because, you know, when you have lack of respect, it tends to bullying, and children disrespect one another, and that's how. So we have zero tolerance for bullying at Temple, and we ensure that the children respect first the elders, the teachers themselves, and their contemporary, so that everybody is happy at the end of the day. And also the discipline, when you talk about African, the culture we have, the values, discipline is a key one. Back in the days, in fact, just one stare by your parents, you know what they're talking about. Not like now you stare at the child and the child is asking, Mommy, what's wrong with your eyes? You know, but so we try to emphasize the fact that you must, you know, yes.
I'm going to pause on the discipline point because I actually want us to go through that point. I've got two final points, but on the discipline point, when you speak to children in this country, a big issue for them is my parents want to send me back to Nigeria to punish me. So we've scared them. So returning to Nigeria is something they're scared about. So how do you address discipline for the 21st century student?
Yeah, for us at Temple,
I'm talking about all your schools. I'm going to go around.
Yes, for us at Temple, it's even though it's a non-contact disciplinary measures, but it's very effective. We have, you know, it's like saying to you, what's the trade secret? What do you do with your children for discipline? We know how we handle the children, cut across all ages. As a school, you know you have to deal with over the years. Temple is 15 years. And I'm just really proud to say that most of we're the youngest here. Of all the schools here, Temple is just 15, and we have 35 and then 42. And we're able to have achieved and attained where we are right now. And it's all because both for the discipline and everything we have put in, we're able to rise and be one of the best schools in the world, I would say, actually. So now, back to what you were saying, if we have issues with children, teenage school especially, where you have children who they evolve into their own self, they know themselves, they think they know, and they have issues. That is actually the category of age where parents abroad want to bring their children back home. They want to say, when you say, oh, we tell the children, we're sending you back to Nigeria, and they want to punish you because at that age, when they turn teenagers, they start, coming up with all kinds of things.
Okay.
And so
I'm going to say that because time is becoming an issue, so I just want us to just go quickly around on discipline. Just 1 minute on everyone on discipline, so that
I'll
we can.
just emphasize that our discipline is very effective and it's a zero contact
Fantastic.
policy.
Madam?
Okay, with us, we emphasize communication. When students come into school, we have a contract, a disciplinary contract, a behavioral contract that we go through with the children, and they're held to the high standards. And so, the students understand what is expected of them, and they also understand what the consequences are, both good and bad. And we emphasize and reinforce what we expect from them weekly during assembly, pastoral care, and at the end of the day, students understand what's expected of them. They also understand when they've fallen short, and they also know when they're being celebrated. I think when we have an environment where children are able to express themselves and able to be corrected in love. So we have mentors, and we have student buddies and teacher mentors that helps them, as well as the pastoral care. in our boarding house and in
Because of
school.
time, because the
Sure, sure.
producer is signaling to me, so can we just, can we take that as discipline across the board is similar? Just some final thoughts before we close in terms of parents are here interested, what happens next in terms of entrance exam? Will they have to fly over to Nigeria, or can the entrance test be taken here in the UK?
Yes. Sorry, do I take it?
I think I maybe want to start from the middle.
Oh yeah, you can take the entrance exams in the UK. You don't have to fly to Nigeria. We have partners, EDUSKO.
Okay.
So all our papers are with EDUSKO, and we can organise entrance exams here in the UK,
Excellent.
wherever you're based. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland.
Excellent.
Yeah,
London.
same with all the schools. Same with
I
all
would
the schools.
actually add that we're going to be around at Coddington Croft Primary School in Sutton next week Saturday to hold our entrance exam. So I welcome parents, even if you don't want to do the exam, you can just come talk to us. We'll be available then. Information is on our website as well.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having these schools with us today. We can clearly see that from 15 years to 42 years, their combined experience is the strength. We can also see that these schools have a tradition of preparing students for top universities such as Cambridge, Oxford, Yale, Harvard University, for the NFL, even the NBA, and I'm sure even the Premier League as well. So this shows you that sending your child to Nigeria is not just an investment in today, but an investment for the future. We look forward to having you join us in one of our future programs. Thanks for your time today. God bless.